Have you seen Scream? The movie became famous for its masked killer, Ghostface, terrorizing teenagers in their homes. But what many people don't know is that the atmosphere of the film was partly inspired by a real and terrifying case. A case that shocked the United States in 1990, the story of the Gainesville Ripper. In the summer of 1990, the college town of Gainesville was known as a peaceful university community. Thousands of students attended the University of Florida, and the city was considered a safe place to live. But that sense of safety would soon disappear. In late August, a series of brutal murders began that would leave the entire town terrified. On August 24th, 2 university students were found murdered in their apartment. The victims were Sonia Larson and Christina Powell. Both had been attacked while they slept. The crime scene shocked investigators because of how violent and disturbing it was. Police quickly realized they might be dealing with a serial killer, and unfortunately, the nightmare was just beginning. The next night, the killer struck again. Another student, Krista Hoyt, was murdered in her apartment. This time, the crime scene was even more disturbing. The brutality of the murders caused panic throughout the city. Students began leaving town, and many were too afraid to stay in their apartments. Some even slept in groups or moved back home. Within days, the city of Gainesville was in a state of fear. Police warned residents to lock their doors and avoid being alone at night. News coverage of the murders spread across the country. People began referring to the unknown killer as the Gainesville Ripper. No one knew who he was, where he would strike next, or how he chose his victims. Eventually, investigators identified the suspect as Danny Rolling. Rolling had a long criminal history and had been living in the area shortly before the murders. After a massive investigation, he was arrested and later confessed to the killings. His crimes shocked the nation and became one of the most disturbing murder cases in Florida's history. Years later, screenwriter Kevin Williamson saw a documentary about the Gainesville murders. The story helped inspire the tense atmosphere of Scream, a killer targeting young people in their homes, phone calls, fear spreading through a community. But unlike the movie, the real events were not fiction. They were tragically real. Danny Rolling was eventually convicted of the murders and sentenced to death. He was executed in 2006. The Gainesville murders remain one of the most terrifying real-life cases connected to horror cinema, a chilling reminder that sometimes the real stories behind horror movies are even more disturbing than the films themselves. If you want to hear more real stories that inspired horror movies, follow for more real horror behind the movies.